everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled lesson of actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. Today's topic is photography. We'll be talking about pictures or photos. It's another way of calling it. So, do you like to take pictures? Do you own a camera? The thing is, I have had several cameras in the past, from the very old ones, and I switched over to digital cameras when they first started to come out, from small-sized ones to even bigger ones, DSLRs. I actually got a very nice camera as a gift about 4 or 5 years ago. I still don't know how to take pictures with it. I know the basic functions, but yeah, they have so many functions, they're very difficult to handle. Of course, you may have your own camera, or even if you don't have a digital camera or any other kind of camera, I think these days people love to take photos with their cell phones and upload them onto their, social networking sites as well. So that may be something you like to do. But do you like to take pictures? Do you also like to be taken pictures of? Some people don't. I don't like pictures taken of me because I do not think that I am photogenic. So think about that as well. Are you photogenic? Do you enjoy taking pictures only? Or do you also like the fact that people take pictures of you? If you don't mind, that's fine. It can be lots of fun. Anyhow, enough talk, everyone. Let's begin with our first segment. It's time for Actual Talk.
I have this aunt.
Yes.
That every family reunion and whatnot, she is the designated photographer.
I have a person like that in my family too. It's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like taking pictures. I don't like to be taken.
Oh, get pictures taken of you?
Yeah.
I see. So you're a little camera shy.
I'm a little camera shy, but I love taking pictures. But not so much of people. I like taking landscape pictures.
I love landscapes. When I go on vacation, I don't tend to take pictures of the people as much.
Oh, they ruin the picture for you?
Yeah. I want to see the beautiful landscape.
Right. And I love architecture as well.
Oh.
Taking pictures of buildings and palaces. I went to Gyeongbokgung Palace the other day. I took pictures of all the little flowers that were in bloom, and I took pictures of, the ornamental handles. And
Do you use film or digital?
I use my DSLR. I have a very expensive camera. Well, expensive
in your world, yeah.
In my world. I mean, it's not one of those really flashy DSLRs, but it does the job. But sometimes when I try to take macro, like really small pictures, I do tend to want a better lens. Yeah, because it has its
Yeah, I pretty much just go with my cell phones.
Right, sometimes it's better to take close-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tried inverting the lens once because I took a lesson online. They said if you invert your normal lens, you can get an effect of a macro lens. It didn't work for me.
Okay. Well, it was worth a try.
Yeah, and at night, I try to take, I think it's a bokeh effect. If you cut out stars, you get little stars when you take a picture of lighting.
Okay.
And if you take a heart shape, you can get heart shapes on your picture as well. I tried making my own bokeh lens. It did not work.
Oh.
So I'm a bit of a failure, but I love experimenting with my camera.
That sounds like fun. Maybe I should try it someday.
I should show you, yeah.
What did you think about today's Actual Talk, everyone? I think that some of you may say, yeah, I am just like Peter. I only take pictures with my cell phone these days. And some others may agree with Joanne. If you own a really fancy camera, I guess you're very much like Joanne. She sounds like she really enjoys taking pictures, but does not like to be taken pictures of. Okay, let's take a look at what they said. Now, Peter says, I have this aunt. He actually pronounced it as aunt, 이모, 고모, right? So this word can be pronounced both ways, aunt or aunt. Peter said, I have this aunt that at every family reunion and whatnot, meaning and everywhere else, she is the designated photographer. Let's take a look at the designated. Designated something means a person that is specifically selected to do something, okay? So in this case, he is saying she is the designated photographer, meaning she is the one that always takes pictures. You may go out to have a drink with your friends and have a designated driver, which means one of your friends may not drink. Why? To make sure that everyone gets home safe, he or she will be the designated driver and drive your car, okay? So here, designated means selected, someone that is chosen to do something, okay? And then Joanne says, I have a person like that, meaning a designated photographer, in my family too, she says. And then she says, it's me, meaning she is usually the designated photographer, meaning she always takes photos. She says, I like taking pictures, but I don't like to be taken. It could be a bit difficult to understand. Yes, afterwards Peter said, you mean to get pictures taken of you? Okay, so what she's saying, I like to take pictures. I like taking pictures of people, of things, but I don't like people taking pictures of me, okay? In that case, you can say, I don't like to get pictures taken of me in that case, okay? So he says, oh, get pictures taken of you. Oh, I see. So you're a little camera shy. That's a fun word. Camera shy. You all know the word shy, right? I think girls tend to be shyer than boys in general. But if you say camera shy, you are saying that you are, I guess, you don't feel comfortable about people taking photos of you. You don't like to be taking pictures of because you somehow don't feel comfortable. If you are not photogenic and every time you take a look at your picture, you may not like it, then you can say, oh, I'm camera shy. So if you're either unwilling or afraid of pictures taken of you, you can say, I am a little camera shy. So Joanne says, I am a little camera shy, but I love taking pictures, but not so much of people. And then she says, I like taking landscape pictures. Okay, we'll take a look at that pattern in just a bit. But what she is saying is, I love to take pictures, but I don't necessarily like taking pictures of people. I really love to take pictures of landscapes, scenery, beautiful scenery, she says, okay? Landscape means scenery. And Peter says, I love landscapes. When I go on vacation, I don't tend to take pictures of people, okay, as much. I want to see the beautiful landscape. So he is agreeing with Joanne. He's also saying, especially when I go on vacation and when I take pictures, I like to see the beautiful landscape and I like to capture the beautiful scenery. Not so much of people, okay? And Joanne says, right, meaning I agree. And I love architecture as well. Taking pictures of buildings and palaces. That exactly is architecture. We're talking about structures. Buildings, for example. So she likes taking pictures of buildings and palaces. She also gave an example. She said, I went to Gyeongbokgung Palace. Actually, gung is Korean for palace. So you could either say Gyeongbok Palace or Gyeongbokgung Palace. The other day, I took pictures of all the little flowers that were in bloom, and I took pictures of the ornamental handles. So she took pictures of what? Many pictures of flowers and also the ornamental handles. Ornamental basically means very detailed, meticulously detailed handles. They're very beautiful, right? So I took lots of pictures of ornamental, meaning beautifully decorated handles. Do you use film or digital? Peter asks. Okay, film is probably the older fashioned cameras, right, that uses film. But these days, a lot of people use digital cameras or take pictures with digital cameras. So that is what he is asking. Do you use film to take pictures or do you use digital cameras to take pictures? Joanne says, I use my DSLR. I have a very expensive camera. Yes, they can be very expensive. And then she says, well, expensive in, and then Peter says, in your world. What does that mean? In your world? To you, simply put. So she's saying, well, expensive in your world. Expensive in my world means expensive to me. Okay? If you think something is expensive, if that's what you think, you can say, it's expensive in my world. If you think that something is very beautiful and others may disagree, then you can say, wow, he or she or it is so beautiful in my world. It just basically means it's what you think, okay? Now, Joanne says, yeah, I mean, it's not one of those really flashy DSLRs. Flash. What is a flash, everyone, without the Y, okay? A flash is what we often may find in our cameras when we take pictures, or even our digital cameras, cell phones or digital cameras. You may use a flash to make something instantly bright. So if you say flashy, it means very eye-catching, okay? It's flashy. It's very unique or really decorated, okay? So flashy means expensive or fancy, in other words. She says, but it does the job. It does the job, meaning it does what it's supposed to do. In this case, we're talking about a camera. So she's saying it's not one of those fancy cameras, but it still does the job. It still takes wonderful pictures. But sometimes when I take macro, okay, and she explains, really small pictures, I tend to want a better lens. I think you need a better lens or a special lens to take macro. Now, Peter says, I just go with my cell phones, meaning my cell phone's camera. But take a look at this. I just go with something means, in this case, I just use my cell phone's camera. I just use my cell phone's camera. I just go with my cell phone's camera. Basically, you're saying, I just use or choose to use something, okay? It does not mean to go somewhere. It means to use in this case. I just use my cell phone's camera. I just go with my cell phone's camera. Now, Joanne says, right, sometimes it's better to take close-ups. Yeah, close-ups. We all know what that is. Close-ups, okay? Objects that are close-up, or you may use a special lens, okay, to take pictures of something up close, okay? So, yeah, I tried inverting the lens once. Inverting, okay, changing perhaps. Take a lesson online. Aha, take a lesson. So perhaps she took a photography lesson online. She says, at night, I tried to take, I think it's a bokeh effect. I did not know about this bokeh effect either. It's rather a professional term, I guess. But it's bokeh or bouquet as well. It's pronounced several ways. It's basically, I think in Korean, the closest would be bosashi, right? You kind of blur it. So it's a blurry effect or a blur effect that you give. You can maybe stress a certain thing. You can focus on a certain point of the picture and blur all the rest of the picture, okay? That is called a bokeh effect. She says if you cut out stars, you get little stars when you take a picture of lighting. So she is just giving us detailed information about the bokeh effect, I guess. Moving on, she says, and if you take a heart shape, take a picture of a heart shape or select a heart shape, you can get heart shapes on your picture as well. So you can get heart shapes on your picture. It means you're adding certain shapes onto the picture. I love experimenting with my camera. Now, this part is underlined, which means we'll take a look at that pattern later on and practice it together. So she says, I love to experiment with, or I love experimenting with something. She likes to have fun with it. Try this and try that with her camera. Now, of course, Peter says, that sounds like fun. Maybe I should try it someday. Meaning, try what? try all the different effects with his camera and try different things with his camera. Perhaps take pictures of this and that, of people and all different things. Okay, I guess that brings us to an end to today's actual talk conversation. Let's take a listen to it one more time.
You know, I have this aunt.
Yes.
That every family reunion and whatnot, she is the designated photographer.
I have a person like that in my family too. It's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like taking pictures. I don't like to be taken.
Oh, get pictures taken of you?
Yeah.
I see. So you're a little camera shy.
I'm a little camera shy, but I love taking pictures. But not so much of people. I like taking landscape pictures.
I love landscapes. When I go on vacation, I don't tend to take pictures of the people as much.
Oh, they ruin the picture for you?
Yeah. I want to see the beautiful landscape.
Right. And I love architecture as well.
Oh.
Taking pictures of buildings and palaces. I went to Gyeongbokgung Palace the other day. I took pictures of all the little flowers that were in bloom, and I took pictures of, the ornamental handles. And
Do you use film or digital?
I use my DSLR. I have a very expensive camera. Well, expensive
in your world, yeah.
In my world. I mean, it's not one of those really flashy DSLRs, but it does the job. But sometimes when I try to take macro, like really small pictures, I do tend to want a better lens. Yeah, because it has its
Yeah, I pretty much just go with my cell phones.
Right, sometimes it's better to take close-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tried inverting the lens once because I took a lesson online. They said if you invert your normal lens, you can get an effect of a macro lens. It didn't work for me.
Okay. Well, it was worth a try.
Yeah, and at night, I try to take, I think it's a bokeh effect. If you cut out stars, you get little stars when you take a picture of lighting.
Okay.
And if you take a heart shape, you can get heart shapes on your picture as well. I tried making my own bokeh lens. It did not work.
Oh.
So I'm a bit of a failure, but I love experimenting with my camera.
That sounds like fun. Maybe I should try it someday.
I should show you, yeah.
Now, was the actual talk conversation a bit easier to understand? There were a few difficult words in today's actual talk. Yes, as for me, I did learn about what's called a bokeh effect, but I need to try my hands at it in order to know exactly what it is. So I have to figure out what cutting out a heart shape is and things like that. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it once again. Let's take a look at some vocab words and then move on to some patterns that you can make use of. I have 4 words for you today. Now, designated. This was something that Peter and Joanne mentioned. In the beginning, Peter said what? He said that he has an aunt who is the designated photographer. You can have a designated driver, a designated photographer, a designated anything. It means a selected photographer, a selected driver. So the pronunciation is designated, designated, and it means selected, okay? The next word is camera shy, right? Now, Joanne said that she is a little camera shy, so it's camera shy. The reason I selected this word for you is because some people have difficulty pronouncing the word camera. I think it's because in Korean, we write it in 3 syllables, camera, right? But in English, it's not camera, it's rather 2 syllables. So it's camera. Okay, camera. 2 syllables. Let's try it together. Camera, camera, camera shy, camera shy. So if you are camera shy, that's right. You are afraid of people taking pictures of you. You kind of feel uncomfortable having pictures taken of you, okay? Or even filmed. If you don't like to be filmed or taking pictures of, you can say that you are camera shy. Another one, digital. Same thing, digital, a lot of people say, but try saying digital. It's like a lull sound. Digital, digital, and close up. I've heard people say close up. Okay, now close is pronounced with a C-L-O-S-E, but it means to open and close something. Here, close means up close, at a very short distance. So a close-up is another word. Close shot is another word. So they mean the same thing. Shots or pictures taken at a very short distance. Okay, they're called close-ups or close shots. Usually if you take a picture of a person, I think in Korean we call them profil 사진. It's when the pictures are taken from about here up to here. Those are usually called head shots. Head as in H-E-A-D, head. Okay, because it's mainly a picture of the upper part of your body. So those pictures are not called profile pictures. They're rather called headshots. Just keep that in mind. Here we go with some patterns. Okay, now in today's actual talk, there was, I like taking so-and-so pictures, landscape pictures, for example. Now another choice is shots. That also means photos, pictures. Means like taking pictures of something. Once again, I like taking so-and-so pictures or so-and-so shots means the same thing as I like taking pictures of something or someone. Here is a sentence. I like taking food pictures. Means I like taking pictures of food. Shorten it and say I like taking food pictures. Now to help you better understand, this time we have I like taking animal pictures. So once again, here let's take a look at the first sample. We talked about food pictures. You can also say I like taking pictures of food. Whatever it is you like taking pictures of, you can make use of either pattern, but the shortened pattern is something you may want to practice on, okay? Okay, we've got another pattern for you. It is love experimenting with and then noun. It also means what? To love to experiment with plus noun. It's experimenting with, okay, experimenting, and then also love to experiment with. So here is a sample sentence. He loves experimenting with international cuisine, which means food, cuisine, not simple foods, not snacks, but rather really delicate dishes, delicacies. International food, basically. He loves experimenting, meaning trying international cuisine. I love to experiment with new things. Also means that you like to try new things, okay? Now, specifically, Joanne said that she likes to experiment with her camera. So if you say that you like to experiment with a certain object, it means that you like to try all different things with that object, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at these sentences one more time. He loves experimenting with international cuisine, meaning he loves to try different kinds of foods. And here, I love to experiment with new things, meaning I love to try out new things. Okay, hope that wraps it up and helps you understand it. Okay, those were our vocab words for today and our actual patterns.
When it comes to photography, I don't really have very much exposure. I don't even have a camera, but I did take a film class once and I actually really enjoyed it. One of the things I really like to do is being behind the camera and actually shooting things. I got to write the script, I got to hire the actors and all that stuff. I filmed a mini commercial of for Coke and I really enjoyed that. I did a Little Red Riding Hood theme. As for being in front of the camera, it's not something I'm used to, but it seems like my body has a natural instinct towards the camera because wherever a camera is, wherever I go, my face naturally turns to the camera and smiles. And so I think that's definitely one thing I like, I guess. Maybe if I was in front of the camera more, I'd get used to it more. But that's all the experience I have in photography and film. So.
Thank you, Marie, for your wonderful story. That was our actual story for today. Now, Marie talked about whether she likes to take pictures or not, what she thinks about photography. She did mention that she's not really familiar with photography. I don't think she's really into taking pictures, but she did take a class in school, and she even filmed a commercial for a soda pop, right? Okay, let's find out what else she mentioned. Now, imagine that you were asked a question about photography. What you can say is, Okay, I don't have a camera. This is if you don't own a camera. You can say I don't have a camera, but, and then move on with the details. I did take a film class once and I really enjoyed it. So she's talking about taking a film class. A film class is not necessarily a photography class, but I think it's closer to filming something on video, like filming a short video or even a movie or even a commercial, as she mentioned. So maybe if you don't have a camera, add some details. Once again, I don't have a camera, but I did take a film class once and I really enjoyed it. She says, wherever a camera is, wherever I go, my face naturally turns to the camera and smiles. So she says, wherever a camera is, wherever I go, my face naturally turns to the camera, turns toward the camera and smiles. So to help you understand what she's saying here, she's saying, if I by chance walk into a room and somebody is holding a camera or there is a camera, I automatically look at the camera and just smile. But she does it naturally, without doing it intentionally or trying. It just happens very naturally. Okay, let's take a look at one last sentence from today's actual story. If I was in front of the camera more, I'd get used to it more. Get used to something more, meaning feel more comfortable doing something or with something. So she was focusing mainly on being behind the camera, right? Actually shooting something or filming something. So she says, if I was in front of the camera, meaning if somebody was filming me or taking pictures of me more, I would probably get more used to it. Yeah, it's great to have pictures taken, right? After all, I think photography, photos are the ones that really, really last a long time. They remind you of such sweet memories, don't they? All right, everyone, that was today's actual story.
When it comes to photography, I don't really have very much exposure. I don't even have a camera, but I did take a film class once and I actually really enjoyed it. One of the things I really like to do is being behind the camera and actually shooting things. I got to write the script, I got to hire the actors and all that stuff. I filmed a mini commercial for Coke and I really enjoyed that. I did a Little Red Riding Hood theme. As for being in front of the camera, it's not something I'm used to, but it seems like my body has a natural instinct towards the camera because wherever a camera is, wherever I go, my face naturally turns to the camera and smiles. And so I think that's definitely one thing I like, I guess. Maybe if I was in front of the camera more, I'd get used to it more. But that's all the experience I have in photography and film. So.
Now today we learned a lot about photography, taking pictures, a lot about photos even. So perhaps the next time you have a chance to talk about photography or photos or even filming something, you've got much more to say. Try making use of the word camera shy. That is, if you don't feel comfortable having pictures taken of you, okay? And if you don't think you are photogenic, if you don't think you look good in pictures, say, I'm not photogenic, or sorry, I'm a bit camera shy. Please don't take a picture of me. Okay, that is a wrap for today, everyone. I'll be joining you next time and we'll talk about taking lessons. We all take lessons. We all learn every single day, right? We don't have to take lessons, but let's focus on that. Taking music lessons, taking language lessons, and you name it. The list can go on. Now, what you can do is come to our homepage. If there is a topic you want us to deal with, feel more than welcome to post it up on our homepage. Find your way over to www.ebse.co.kr. Swing by to say hello. Okay, that is all for today. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.